Yeah, I love them knives channel. Here we are. And what are we doing? Well, I got this LionSteel made in Italy, SR-11. Okay, let's get the basic facts out the way. Schleipner steel, which is made in Germany, which is supposed to be very corrosion resistant and have a good edge retention. Maybe. Moletta. God, I can't pronounce anything anymore. Every time I try and pronounce a name, it's like some odd way of pronouncing it, so I just give up on it. But I think that's Moletta. Crap. Okay, so this is an integral frame knife. All one piece there. No two sides to screw together. And the SR-11, this is an aluminum frame, okay? And the one I reviewed earlier on my channel, which was, I don't know, it seems like a millennia ago, but it must not have been much more than a month ago, was titanium. Frame lock, flipper, integral handle. And you know what? I had kind of all kinds of fits with that knife. I got it out of the box and it flipped okay. There's your insert, hardened steel insert, so the aluminum does not come in contact with the blade steel. Keep wear from happening, keep this lock bar from migrating across there too far over time. And of course you got your roto lock. God bless everybody for that. You know what? That's just such an exciting innovation. I can just totally do without that, absolutely. But a couple of guys said, hey, you can just lock that out, keep from having it turn on you accidentally. So when you go to disengage the knife, this one is not flopping into position and locking it out, so I have to turn it anyhow. So this is fine. It's just not my favorite deal. Just saying. That's just me. Pocket clip, pretty small. Doesn't take over the design. Hot spots, nah. That's not enough to hotspot anything. Got a glass breaker on the end. That's cool. And I don't know that you can flip this right and left-handed, and we'd have to go figure that out on the paperwork. Here's the Blade HQ one, the SR-11A, because this one's the red one. 3.6-inch satin blade. They sell for $190.99 on this place, on this site. About 8.4 inches, 3.6-inch blade, 0.18 inch apparently of the thickness of the blade steel, I'm assuming. Schleipner steel, 6061 HRC, drop point, flat grind, satin, plain, blah, blah, blah. Now, handle thickness. Looks pretty heavy, 0.65 and just a bit over 5 ounces, so that's not too bad. And right hand, left hand. Okay, so you can flip the clip. Okay, because I didn't undo it to see if you could. It looked like you could, and here's the rest of the paperwork. Pause and read if you want. Machined from a single piece of aluminum, strength and durability, a reversible tip-up pocket clip. Okay, so they're telling you twice in here. There you go. Okay, it's like the SR1, only it's a flipper. And there you go, RS, so red. I had the titanium one, as I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself. And you know what? I had issues with it. First of all, I got it out of the box, and the first couple times I opened it, it seemed pretty smooth deploying, And then about the fourth or fifth time, it just stuck on me. And it's like there were little, little gritty stuff from machining or from the manufacturing process that might have got into the bearings. And these are IKBS, or at least that's the IKBS sign. These are bearings, so it should be pretty smooth. I mean, I've got experience with IKBS on a lot of the Todd Begg stuff and Steelcraft and CRKT stuff. So, and this one deploys just great. But that titanium one, it just went sideways on me. And then I'm going, well, how am I going to take this apart? And then I thought, well, I can't really take it apart because it's got bearings and I don't know if they're captured or not. And that might be something to investigate very carefully someday. But I thought, well, I got to unscrew the pivot. Then I got to pull this blade out because this is just a mono frame here. So I can't take the frame apart and expose things like that. So I'm going to have to take this pivot out and slide it out. In any case, the bottom line was I just worked with it a little bit, loosened it up, put a little lube in there, readjusted it, and it wasn't perfectly centered like this one is anymore, but it improved. And I had lock stick, even though it had an insert, and I don't know, but and also, here disengaging, there's a huge cutaway here to disengage this lock bar. And it's pretty easy here, but it felt a little bit more, I don't know, it felt a little bit more edgy here and kind of sharper in a way. Not like it was a sharp edge, but more of a thin edge. And, I don't think it's really physically any different here, but this doesn't feel as edgy, doesn't really print on your thumb quite as bad as the titanium one. It seems easier to disengage the lock bar is what I'm trying to say. And the action on this has not been bad. I'm lazy flipping here. There you go. See, I mean, it flips open. And I haven't put any lube on this, and I haven't really flipped it a lot, so no, I haven't done a lot. This will get smoother with time, probably. But you know what? Yeah, that's a lot better. This one, I really like a lot better. Oh my God, knife of the year, here we go. Tear it up, LTK. You get them, boy. But no, I do love the design. I like the fact that I always liked the SR1, but I mean, now that they made it into a flipper, integral frame flipper with IKBS. And yes, I can make any flipper fail. So that doesn't have a lot of detent there. So you can gravity flip it. It's probably like a 6.5 on my detent scale, which of course I can't ever explain to you, so it's almost meaningless to say it, but kind of gives you an idea if you know what a strong detent's like, what a weak detent's like. This is kind of in the middle. It's not that weak, but it's not incredibly strong either, and it doesn't hold it to where it's just a guaranteed deployment. But it's pretty good. Like the red, I like the fact that you can get these in all different colors because it's aluminum, so it's anodized, and you got this lanyard hole. So, and that's a cutaway situation, which I like, which means you can lay the knife down fairly flat and the lanyard can still come out on the bottom and not lift that part up because it's on top of the scale. It's cut away into that scale, so that's nice. Of course, you can, like we got double confirmed, you can move the pocket clip from left to right-hand side. So there you go there. And there are no thumb studs. So the only deployment method is the flipper tab. And The spine is crowned on this knife, which is really nice. I like the way they do that. I like the grind on this knife. Of course, you got a flipper tab, so there's your contact patch, right? Unless you get off of the main surface, there you go. But that's just the way it is. Which also provides a guard for your fingers to keep them from slipping onto the blade. Ergonomics on this knife are really good. It feels really good in the hand. And like they said, 0.6 something. Let me see if I can stay away from the pocket clip. And yeah, 0.56, something like that. So it fills the hand pretty good. Blade steel is, I think they said 0.18, and they're right there, which is about 4.5 millimeter blade stock. So it's deceptive because this spine is crowned, but it's actually pretty thick blade stock. You got this false edge down here, just a swedge milled in here, but it gives you some reinforcement for this tip. So piercing, yes. Slicing, yes. Nice high grind there. Nice satin grind, well executed. You know, you've got this contoured handle, so it's not just flat. You've got this texturing on here, which is more grippy than nothing, but it's fairly smooth. You know, it's not real aggressive, let's put it that way. See, you got a little bit of milled here, a little bit of milled there, and then this diamond pattern in the middle. Okay, so it helps. It's aesthetically really good, and it also provides some degree of grip. No jimping here. And you know, it's really, really smooth how they've done this flipper tab. And I know okay, now I've roto-locked myself. I knew it was going to come down to that. There's your blade stop. See your flipper tab? Very smoothly done, and which drove me crazy on the titanium version because that's slick, you know? It really is. It's slick. It's hard to get a good grip. Now, you really, it's almost a light switch that's required because the push button's not working for me. It's not deploying the blade all the way. So yeah, and almost maybe you're kind of subconsciously doing a little wrist movement there as well. Not the smoothest, most glassy glassy feeling flipper action. But it does it. Not as good as I'd like it to. And now it's getting a little bit more, a little bit more difficult for me. So how's that? In any case, we flipped it enough. 3.6-inch blade. I like the design. I really like it really well. I'm going to have to work on those bearings, though. They are not what I'd like them to be. 3 5/8-inch blade, which is 90 millimeters, 21 centimeters, which is 8 1/4 overall. Yeah. I like the colors. I like the action the ability to disengage the blade better on this. And now this is really starting to feel sticky a little bit on here. So maybe it's time for a little bit of lubrication, which I don't have in here. But yeah, I think it would respond to that. Strange, you know, it's kind of like the other model as well that I had, the titanium one. Now, I think you could sharpen this up pretty easily. You've got a little sharpening choil here, and this is a great blade, you know, shape to be able to get, especially if you've got a, you know, a Wicked Edge or KME or something like that, Lansky, to sharpen the blade. Supposed to be pretty corrosion resistant, good edge retention. So you got that. Let's see how much it weighs. That's always helpful, isn't it? And, oh my God, there we go. I'm fighting my, guess I need to get a cordless scale. 5.1 ounces, because it's always pulling back on me. 145 grams. So it's fairly light for as big as it is, I guess. Although, you know, you're talking about aluminum. And it's pretty milled out. There's not a lot of material on there. Crap. In any case, I was going to look inside, and I don't see much going on there, but I wouldn't think they would skeletonize that a lot. There's my flashlight sitting around. No. Not much there. Okay. Not much to be able to skeletonize, really. It's not that thick or heavy a material, but it's centered. There's no blade play, no lock rock, but I'm getting some lock stick on this thing, if you've noticed. Look at that. There you go. That's not good. So first of all, the bearings feel dry. And second of all, got lock stick. Both things that can be dealt with. Going to get some of that oxidation resistant stuff, put it in there, see if that helps to fill those little pores and stop the lock stick from happening. And then some lube and maybe some adjustment on the pivot, and then just time. But yeah, that's just not the action that I was wanting out of this knife. But initially, it was pretty good. Now, needs a little attention. All right, I've taken you on a 17 and a half minute ride with the LionSteel SR-11 Red Aluminum. Full-size knife, not too heavy, 5.1 ounces, not bad in that regard. I love the design. I like the fact that you can go right or left hand with a pocket clip, and I like the glass breaker. I like the integral. And it's got IKBS, but Lord Almighty, I guess we need to touch it up a little bit, get her running a little smoother, but I think with the right attention, it'll be just fine. Although I'm not trying to make excuses for it. It's not the action that I would want or expect on a knife that costs about $200. On the other hand, you know, sometimes you got to do a little bit of this or that with these knives. Take care, my friends. Hey, subscribe if you'd like. Keep up with us because we do have table sales. We have giveaways, do things like that. And you know what we do around here. We love them knives, so stay sharp.